when I turn, it hurts. Okay, so Jess says, oh, it hurts my left hip when I turn this way, right? So you guys need to think about how do you alter, so if you already are thinking about moving in this direction and differentiating, don't take them out of the position they hurt in and like try to hold the hip and do this and that. Just try to alter it like on the spot, like where they are, right? So don't be worried, don't be fearful, like, because when you have them turn, that's the movement they're telling you that bothers them, right? So you're just trying to change the sensitivity in that position. So, okay, so if she turns towards me and says it hurts on this side, of course you take them out, goes away, comes back on. So if it hurts her here, how can I alter the hip or how can I alter the back in this position? So put your hands on my shoulders, right? So that keeps her back in the right position, right? And the same, so turn farther, you gotta get the hip into it. Okay, there you go. So ouch, that hurts. So if I wanted to try to make her hip more sensitive, I would just take her pelvis and just turn it more. If she said, oh, that's worse, then you could probably say it's probably the hip. And in the same position, if I just change the hip again, that should make it better, right? So I'm doing something in the position to incriminate and also to take it off. Okay? So if she says that she comes this way and it turns and it hurts, if I take it further and she says that's no different, and then I derotate it, that should increase it, then it would say it'd be a back problem, right? And then from that, then take it further. Okay, so if we did the first scenario, it was her hip, then I'd make her stand on one leg, and then I'd just do something just with the hip only, and that would make it worse as well, right? Got it? Right, and if it was back, then I would either use a table or I'd come some way and say turn towards me. Good, and that would just be back only, and I try to incriminate it with that. But lots of times, if it's back with turning, the hip needs to be part of it because it won't wind itself all the way up. Okay? And of course, before you did that, Michael and Matt, you guys were asked, you would also check weight bearing sensitivity, right? So is it worse one side versus the other, right? This test, this stuff seems to be best for this and probably for flexion, because extension is a little funny, side flexion is a little funny. But so if I have her, you guys okay so far with that? Okay. Yeah. So if I have her flex forward and she says, "Oh, that hurts," in the hip on this side, so just stay sequential about it, right? If I bend her knee, that makes the hip more sensitive, and if they say, "Oh, that's worse," then possibly it could be hip, right? Okay. Right. So I can take leg and I can put it up on a stool, which would make that even more. If I bend her forward more, that would hurt some more, right? All that stuff, right? You can take it further. The next thing, if I bend her forward and then I bend her knee a little bit and she says that's better, I could be altering the weight bearing, but I also am altering the neural tissue, if that's a component, and then we can then try to sensitize that. So we keep her knee straight, we bend her head down, which is further away, bring her foot back, which makes it worse, or all that stuff, right? Okay, and that would be that. Okay, and if it was just her back for flexion, then you would try to have her do the pelvic tilt, right? That way, right? Cross your arms, cross your chest, and try to just bend it more, just at the back, and keep the hip out of it. Yeah. Okay. So side flexion, you can do that as well, but some of that's just weight bearing sensitivity, and it's going to be, here you go, Steve, come over here. So if she bends this way, and she says, ouch, that hurts, right? I can quickly just alter the add and abduction. So if it's a hip problem, that should make it better. Hip problem, that should make it worse, right? And if it's back only, then I would just have to increase the back, and that can make it worse. If it's neural tissue, then she just move her head around, right? Which again is not very sensitive for that. And then extension, extension is just if most hips can extend the same, or if it truly is, if it's a hip problem, then all she has to do is she just puts her leg up on the stool or whatever it might be. That oftentimes will make it better. If it's a hip extension problem, then I can usually take it further because the back wouldn't be inhibited. But I mean, again, you got to just weigh it up. This stuff is just you're going to get it. Maybe it might be helpful. Like somebody, like these kids that come in and you guys see a lot of this, and they don't do much label stuff anymore, repair, right? Because they know they're just horrible. But it could be that could be helpful in one of those kids, like the golf swing or something like that, right? They might have some nasty catch, but Jason knows all about it. He talks about it. Didn't he have surgery? Jason had surgery, didn't he? Didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he did. On his, liver, yeah. I would have somebody touching. Those things are just, I mean, you have to go, look at all the stuff you have to go through just to get to the freaking thing. If something's gonna go wrong, right? Or, I don't know. I know, it seems like a lot of, like, I remember when they first came out, I go, oh, that's kind of an interesting idea. And then they were so hard to treat, man. I get some, I go, oh, that's a good idea. And you couldn't even move their head. So sensitive, right? Because I just think about all the stuff they go through. So what do they do with those these days? Do they still do them much?
Shave down the femoral head.
Do like not labor group or FAI.
Oh, right.
Surgery.
Jack will tell you about that, right? Did he give you the spiel about what he had done?
His hip was deteriorating.
Oh.
Right? We need to.
He tried to do the least of the